Look at that, I am live. Hello, Boozeketeers. It's Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you know what that means? Of course you do, because that's what you're here for, because you're here. You are here with me, and we're all here together. I hope that wherever you are, you're having yourself a luscious, delicious cocktail. And if not, then I'm going to have one for you, and, you know, like that. But so how you guys been? What's news? You can't tell me. I'm going to have to make it up. What are we here? What are we doing? Why are we here? Everybody knows why we're here. You guys know. To watch me make drinks, or a drink, and to keep drinking other drinks, and keep on going until something else happens, I guess. So what are we doing? Well, tonight, we're not gonna do what CJ wants because, you know. Because no, so CJ actually, we were talking to him earlier, and he said, "Hey, you should make a classic whiskey sour using egg whites," which we've done whiskey sours before. We did them on. You know, it's funny. I actually today I spent a good deal of time. I'm working on updating some of the Boozeketeer's stuff, some of the pages, so that you can actually go. It's going to be great. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be. Wait, did CJ already say shut up and make a drink? No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a drink, and then we'll talk about stuff. How about that? Does that work? That's usually that's. I know people are like, come on, we're tired. We can hear you yap. We have to pay to hear you yap half the time. This is our only opportunity to watch you drink and not yap for free. So what are we doing? Well, tonight's recipe comes all the way from the internet, and I don't even know where it came from. It was out there somewhere, but it comes by way of New Zealand. We talked last week about Turk. The Turk is down under, and he's already he's there tomorrow, today, yesterday, tonight, and he sent me a message asking about the cable car cocktail because he had one and he said it was delicious. And the funny thing is, if you think this sort of thing is funny, the funny thing is that Turk was in on the night years ago, days ago. Actually, it was years ago. It was over a year ago, or less. It was. We made sidecars, and we decided that the sidecar was less than delicious. But the cable car is kind of like a sidecar, but with rum, which then makes a lot of sense. It all kind of comes together because the Turk likes rum. So, but anyway, he was down there in New Zealand. He had a cocktail called the cable car. He asked if I'd made it. I said no. He said you should. I said I should. And he said you ought to. And I said maybe I will. So tonight we're going to make a cable car, and in fact, we're going to make it right here, right now. So, what is it? Once again, the cable car is in the family of sour drinks. Not too sour, not too sweet. It's got both sweet and sour and booze, which is a very common combination. We've talked about that with a lot of different things. They'll come down to the sweet, citrus, the alcohol, stuff, nonsense, what have you. So one thing that we're going to do, which we don't do that often, and hopefully this will work. I didn't even try it. It kind of, we'll see. So this one calls for a glass that has sugar around the rim. So we're going to try doing that. And a good way to do it is you rub a little lemon juice around the edge. That goes into a container. Yeah, a little cinnamon sugar. So what are we making? How does this work? That's right. That's why I have a recipe. So the cable car is, you take your shaker, trusty shaker, half filled with cracked ice. And so this recipe actually specifically calls for Captain Morgan. Because you know who we are and the way we act, rather than get regular Captain Morgan, I got the Captain Morgan's Black because it's 94.6 proof. Regular Captain Morgan's runs in about 80 proof, but I figured that extra, I figure when we drink this, we're hopefully going to see where that 5% went. I figure, think about this. So here's something you can think about if you are someone who likes to think about these things. The first one you should think about is sharing the program. Share this program. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Share with people on the street. They might think you're crazy, but that's true, so it's okay. I'm going to give you just a moment to share the program. So people, and then they'll have to catch up, and they're going to be sitting behind you going, what is he saying? What's that? Why is he holding that bottle? What's he talking about? It'll be like when you're in the movies and there's those people and they came in late and then they're always out anyway. So yeah, so 5% doesn't seem like much, does it? No, 5%. That's whatever. But think about it. Beer, difference between a 5% beer and a 6% beer, can go a ways. So I don't balk at the 5%. Plus, it's got a cork. So recipe calls for 1.5 ounces using a fine Tiki King Boozeketeer's Club shot glass, which is 1.5 ounces, which is why we have to put in 2 ounces because of how we are. So one of these, and then not quite a half of one of these, or maybe too much, or maybe not enough. There it is. So, spiced rum, 1 ounce of lemon juice, freshly squeezed. We actually grew these lemons ourselves and picked them in a time warp because it's winter time. But don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Never mind. I'll tell you later. I'm not going to tell anyone, but I'll tell you later. So 1 ounce of lemon juice, 3/4 ounce of white curacao. Now we've talked about curacao many a time. Curacao is an orange liqueur. And it's made from some specific types of oranges. There's blue curacao, which is what most people know. Blue curacao because it goes into things like blue Hawaiians and the Yazuluna, the blue moon, and all that stuff. But white curacao is the same thing, only it's not blue. So there you go. So we're going to put in 3/4 ounce, which is 1.5 ounces. So we're going to go with a half of one of these, and that's 3/4. As far as my math is concerned, I'm just guessing at this point. 1/2 ounce simple syrup. We've talked about simple syrup in the past. Don't go buying it at $6 a bottle. Are you kidding me? Little things, $6 a bottle. Simple syrup is equal parts sugar and water, and you just bring it, you heat it up till the sugar dissolves, and there you go. So 1/2 ounce. Put that in there. And then we give it a shake. You know what I didn't do though? In all my methodical preparation, I didn't grab my strainer or my orange garnish. I'm gonna send producer Maggie off to find the strainer because I'm sure it's around here somewhere. And in the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit. Oh, there we go. Forget it then. I'm not gonna tell you anything. I'm just gonna strain this into here.
You want an orange slice?
If you got one, yeah, why not? See, garnishing. Sometimes you can get away with just, throwing the thing together and putting it in the glass and chugging it down. But I think we're going to wait. Since, we don't want to do Turk wrong. He's all the way down there in New Zealand today, and he watched the show yesterday, which would be right now. But I don't want to do him wrong by making this drink all willy-nilly, as it were. So we'll wait for that orange slice before we can continue on. But hey, maybe this is a good time to tell you about something else. About the cable car. I can tell you a little bit of history. So the cable car, as I said, it's a sour drink. The cable car was created in 1996 by Tony Abu Garman. Squeeze a little in there and just drop it in. So the cable car was invented in 1996 by Tony Ganem, and it's a modern variant on the classic sidecar, which we talked about before. And it commemorates the Starlight Room in the Drake Hotel in San Francisco. So if you were in San Francisco or you're going to San Francisco, go to the Drake Hotel, order a cable car, and say, I was there, the Tiki King, that night that he drank those. Let's see what happens. Oh, Chuck said this was lovely, and he's right. I'm going to send this down for sippage. Yeah, so go to San Francisco, tell them Tiki King sent you. They won't get you anything, but you'll have fun at the Drake Hotel. What do you think of that? I think it's kind of lovely. This is, in my opinion, far more exciting than the sidecar. Hey, so there you go. The cable car. I'm not going to stop now because that's lovely. You Turk, or is Turk here? Is Turk? Is he Turk? You were right. It's lovely. So I would say we need a round of loves for the Turk for sending us this fine cocktail. So I'm going to dedicate all the likes that come up in the next couple minutes to Turk. Here's to you, man. Cheers. One problem I can see with this drink, though, I'm going to have to say there is a problem with it.
It's small.
I just pretty much chugged that whole thing down. It's easy. You see, it seems like when the Turk gets involved, it's easy drinking and then mischief. I was going back through going, oh, yep, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, back when the Turk would show up on the set, sometimes it was during the show, things would go awry. But it was usually the after show. Because what happened at the after show, we would start just sort of, discussing the finer aspects of filmmaking. And then it would usually just kind of just dissolve into drinking a whole lot and then walking somewhere. And like I said last time, there was one time we ended up in the cemetery. One time we ended up the next morning, 6 o'clock at the jury room, because it was a decision that was made and we had to honor it. That's one of those things. I figure you can say pretty much any kind of thing you want, you drunken stupor, but when you sober up, you still got to honor it. Things like that. I don't know if that's true. I just made that up, but that's okay. The cable car. If I had the board, I could be putting that up. I don't know how many of you are fans of Top Gear. You any fans of Top Gear out there? But they have the times and the thing of who drove better than who. And I was saying we need that for the cocktails of where the cocktails are. Is this one was better than this one? We like this one more, and this one whatever. That may happen. That may when we start to move into the permanent bar, because there's new bars in the works. There may be a couple of new bars in the works, and you guys will be the first to witness them. Probably, we'll probably be having you guys come to the new bars before the actual before the riffraff get in there sucking up all the free booze. But hey, one thing. Speaking of that, I tried to segue into things. It's like, hey, and speaking of coins, I want to talk to you about giraffes. Now, one thing I would like to say is, hey, if you like the program, if you really like the program, I mean really like it, like more than me, there's a couple things you can do to help support it. One is to tell all your friends, but then they're like, why did you tell me about this? And you can answer them now. You can say, because I wanted to share with you the fact that you can go to tikiking.com and go to the online store and buy some fine tikis. And they say, yeah, but I already bought a bunch. Why would I want more? And you can say, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go to tikiking.com/booze? I just happen to have the address right here for those of you who don't know. tikiking.com/booze. Go there. And now we have a virtual tip jar. You can toss in, it's like when you're watching a musician and he's not playing very good, but you thought, hey, he's got spirit. He's trying. You toss in $1. It's the same thing here where you're like, you're not funny, but maybe I'll give you $1, and if if you'll go away. And I do every week. So you owe me $1. Speaking of that, I'm going to make up more of these. This is tasty. Gotta say, Turk, man. So we've been thinking about this new thing. Well, I don't know if it's a new thing. We've been thinking about this thing called watch parties. Have you guys ever done watch parties out there? Any of you guys? Anyone? Bueller? Yeah. So something that we're thinking about. It's still in the experimental mental stage. Is we're thinking about doing watch parties hosted in different places. One of them which CJ did last week, kind of. He did a virtual watch party, just in that he just had a bunch of people watching with him. But we have this idea, and I'm gonna kick it out there for you guys, and you can thumbs up it or thumbs down it or however I don't know however it works out there in the wilderness. So we're thinking about having a thing where we'll have sort of like guests, and I can add, like if you're in there, you're in your, I think it's if you're commenting, I can click on you. Well, I can't because I'm up here, but through the powers of producer Maggie, we can click on your name and add you in a sort of video call to the show. And we're thinking that what might be fun is that every now and then we'll get a guest who will try and follow along with me and try and make the drink. We're probably going to do some of these in the beginning just to do a little test run, probably from the Asylum Tavern, for those of you who went to church a couple days ago, or the Tits Ahoy Tavern for those of you who just drink a lot and tend to say rude things. But at the Fallen Tattoo Asylum, we have the bar there, which you may have seen in a couple episodes ago. But we may do a split screen with Danny and CJ and see if they can follow along with my nonsense, which means we're probably going to be making some super overly complicated drink, and I'm going to talk really, really fast. And we're going to see if they can keep up and make the drink, and it will be, see, I don't know, like it'll be over here, or it'll be over here. I don't know, but it'll be somewhere on the screen. And they'll make the drink along with it. And we're thinking that might be a fun idea. But it wouldn't only be them because, everybody gets tired of their nonsense. Danny droning on and on about nonsense. It's good sometimes. Not when you're trying to sleep. And he's like outside the window tapping on it. And you go out there and you turn on the bug light. He still doesn't go away. I don't know what that's about. So see here, we got more bug. Curacao. See, I started talking. I digressed. I started monologuing. And it's like the downfall of the superheroes. I almost didn't make my drink the second time. What do you guys think about that? Is that a good idea? Do you think it has merit? Do you think it has a savoir-faire? Does that even work? I don't speak French. I mean, I've been known to probably just want to say from time to time, but not like every day. It's not like one of those things where I wake up speaking French, because that would serve me no purpose. I'd have to say, I'm going to go make cafe. And it's like, what is coffee? It's like coffee, Jesus. Oh. I'm going to use my same garnish. I don't know if that's, I'm guessing that's okay. Nobody ever told me it couldn't. And so by the way, if you happen to go to tikiking.com/booze, and you happen to throw a buck or two in the tip jar, I'm going to mention your name on upcoming shows. I'll say, hey, we just want to thank so-and-so and so-and-so and, people in nonsense and so forth and whatnot, for helping support the show. It's kind of like when you watch KQED and you're enjoying Monty Python and the Holy Grail for the third time in one night because that's all they're playing. Then every once in a while they interrupt saying, we're going to go to the phones now and take donations. Think about this. Here's the thing. We don't do that. With us, it's just booze, booze, booze for the whole show. We're not going to interrupt it with like people on the phone going by. I probably could, huh? If I had my phone with me. I don't. We're going to go to the phones. Producer Maggie, do we have anyone on the phones?
I can call someone.
Just call someone randomly. And we're just going to call someone randomly. Hey, kick down. Uh-huh. Yeah, we got a shaker. We'll come to your house. Speaking of that, it's not just the Boozeketeer that we go to. It's not just the Tinsel Hoy Tavern that we go to. It's that we go to different places. We're actually have a list. I have a list of upcoming venues, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want y'all to be surprised. But if you have a home bar or a favorite bar, it doesn't have to be in your house. Although it would be better because if we're in your house, there's no last call. But there's a couple things you can do to make this all happen in your locale. One, send us an invite and say, hey, I have a drink recipe and the booze to make it. Why don't you come over to my house tonight? And I'll say, do you have like Fritos or something? And they'll say, well, no, I have the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And I'm like, well, that's pretty good. And we'll negotiate like that. And then come over to your house and drink your booze. It's that simple. But if you want us to come and invade your place and make drinks there and film the whole thing, and then in the morning you can say, what the hell happened? And we can say, we don't know because we'll be gone. And you'll be wondering, what happened to my jar of pickles? I'm like, how would I know? But if you want us to come to your house and make drinks, we'll do that. We will. Well, we might. I should say, I can't say we will because that's legally. Then we're bound by a verbal contract. So I'm gonna what do they call it? Supersede. This current comment supersedes all previous comments. We might come to your house, and if we do, I can say we will probably drink all your booze. That one I don't have to worry about too much. Yeah, so if you want us to come to your house, make drinks, talk nonsense, keep your kids awake, do you have a cat? I'll pet your cat. It's I'm flexible. We should do that. Or if you happen to have a favorite bar that you're like, good God, people, come to my favorite bar. It's awesome. Send us a message and say, hey, here's the place. Let's do it. And we'll probably say, oh, well, if we're in town, why not? But once again, and if you can't even do that, write up a compelling argument as to why we should feature you on the split screen, whether it's over here or over here. I don't know. I've never done it before. So, but if we should feature you on the split screen, which we might do, if we might do a guest thing where it's like Cocktales of Tiki King featuring the fantastic cocktails of so and so, and you could be on there, See, I don't know if it's going to be over here or over here. So it's hard to gesture. Of course, some people will be on both sides. Which reminds me. So I recently saw, this has nothing to do with booze, but it's still, it's now plaguing me, it's vexing me. So I was watching Wizard of Oz. And something that I thought no one ever asks. So how do you get to Oz? Do you know? Does anyone out there know? Do you guys know how to get to Oz? You follow the Yellow Brick Road. Easy. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. It's like it's easy. Everyone knows. Where's Oz? Yellow Brick Road. Move it. That's terrible. You ever been out like having a good time at a bar, and the next thing you know, you're like sitting outside, and the cops all, hey, follow the Yellow Brick Road, pal. Can't tell you. But it occurred to me, where does the red brick road go? Watch the show. I'm telling you, there's a red brick road that goes a different way, and they don't talk about it. And I'm thinking maybe it goes to like Glenda's probably got a bar of her own. Probably goes wherever Glenda's at, and she's like, don't follow the Yellow Brick Road. I don't have very much gin left. Mm-hmm. And she says, mm-hmm, after when she says, weird, kind of weird. Don't get rid of those ruby slippers, keep my feet. Mm-hmm. No, but I was wondering about that. I'm like, they don't talk about it. Where does the red brick road go to? So I'm gonna say if the red brick road happens to go to your house, you need to tell us about it. So we can come over there, bring some munchkins, and make drinks for everybody, whether they're tall drinks or short. We can do highballs and rocks. We can do like tall drinks, short drinks. It'll be awesome. And then I can get sued later for like people who upset about that sort of thing. I don't know. But, so hey, I know I already told you, go to tikiking.com/booze, but also go to tikiking.info, because there's fun stuff there. Go to all the websites, hey, did you? Mm-hmm. I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's ask Glenda. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Go to the websites, do the things. Tell your friends. YouTube, we currently have, I figured there's there's like 4 days of videos up on YouTube. So if you want to, like, so I have a secret. I was telling someone, you should go on YouTube and binge watch Cocktales of Tiki King. Right? So now there will, by like tomorrow night, there will be like 59 episodes. And here's the thing. So you can start it, right? And start drinking along. You'll probably make it through like 4 episodes and then pass out. And then it'll keep going. This is the beauty of it. It'll keep going until by the time you sober up, you'll have caught up. But you'll have slept through most of it, so it'll be painless. It'll be like dentistry where they give you general anesthesia. You don't have to. It's like my show. You don't have to worry about having your teeth pulled out. You can just sleep through the whole thing. It'll be beautiful. So there you go, Boozeketeers. The cable car. I say thumbs up. I want to put it pretty high up on the drink board. We've got virtual. So you have to imagine along with use your imagination. If Fred Rogers was here drinking with us, you know what he'd say? He's like, do not talk about Rogers. You know what he'd say? He'd say, let's use our imagination. And I'm gonna say, hey, drunken neighbors, let's use our imaginations to talk about the drink board. I would have to say we have the undrinkable drink would be here. The orange flip is slightly below the undrinkable drink. What was that one? Was it daiquiris? The actual like classic daiquiris. I never know what the best drink ever was. But so it's up here. I'm gonna have to say tonight the cable car. It's up there. I can't tell you exactly where, but we're using our imagination. And even though, how's it work in New Zealand? Is it upside down? Does it swirl the other way? I don't know. So if you find yourself, so we're gonna have a big shout out to Turk for the cable car. It's good. Tonight, I'd say as an honor to Turk, if you make 8 of these and end up throwing up, throw up the other direction because he's down under. So there you go. And with that, Boozeketeers, I'm going to say good night, good luck, and good drinking. And I've been Tiki King, and you've been the Boozeketeers. And until we meet again, I'll be the one in the feds. That's all I can tell you.